how to make your brand the next nude project. And basically, here's the catch, because marketing for clothing brands, it's like the most difficult thing you can ever do, because most of the brands, they're kind of selling almost the same thing in a material sense, because most of clothing, they're basically the same. It's the same materials, the same design, the same layouts. And what differentiates a brand from another one is basically what they sell, what are the aspirations that they sell, basically their branding. Branding for clothing brands is everything, and that's why we're going to do kind of a deep dive now to analyze more what they're doing right, basically what they're doing right and how you can implement that into your business. So first things first, clothing brands are subtle, and it's all about being an artist. Be subjective. I don't know what your brand is, basically, but you need to be more subjective about it. You need to be extremely creative about it, because usually the brand is a reflex of the founders. So a good thing for you to know and to analyze is what are the company, how can I say this, what is the business, what is the vibe of the brand, what do you want to sell to your clients when they're using your brand. So as an example of the new project, basically they're, let me see where is it, but basically their their line is by artists. Is it for, wait, it's for artists by artists, or it's the other way around. I don't recall. No, actually it's the other way around. So wait, by artists for artists. They're basically selling being an artist and what an artist mean for them. Basically, here's a print that I took from Google. If you search new project, it's the first thing that it's going to appear on the right side. So basically, new project is a ready-to-wear label founded in 2018 in a small dorm room by two friends eager to create something different. Wait a second. Two friends eager to create something different. Here's, wait, let me give a zoom on it. Create something different. This is part of what they sell in their brands. In their brand, they sell freedom, they sell uniqueness, but more than that, they sell creating something different, being an artist of your own sort, right? And this is an example, and you can see on their pieces, right, that it's something different. It's it's out of the norm, basically extremely out of the norm. Let's continue. Our garments aim to inspire the new generation to pursue their passion, whether it's not the traditional path, by empowering artists to create without fear of judgment. So here you can see what they're striving for, and by looking at this, you can analyze their persona, which I will show you guys later in the video. But basically here they're talking about inspiration. They're selling to their clients inspiration, aspiration. They're selling passion. They're selling like go do the thing that you're trying to do. Go do the thing that you're striving for. Be an artist of your own sort. Be an artist of your own life. That's what they're selling, basically. And the the vibe that they want to sell is that every time that someone puts on new project clothing, they're showing to the world that they are an artist of their life. They're artists of some sort, and that they basically don't give a fuck, right? That's and I'll talk about later in the video. But basically, clothing brands are really subtle. You need to be extremely subjective, and you need to know like what do you want to sell them. So yeah, and as an example of Nude project, they sell being a rebel, they sell freedom, make their own decisions, and passion. They sell passion, basically. They sell inspiration, something different. In a connection that it's really close to what Nude Project is doing now is the Think Different marketing campaign from Steve Jobs. Let me see if I can get an image from the Think Different Apple. Let me get an image to illustrate better. Nah, actually, it won't help that much. But basically, Steve Jobs sold. Basically, they sold being a misfit, being a rebel, and thinking different. And there's the famous marketing campaign where Steve Jobs does that line that the only the only people who change the world are the ones who actually no actually the only ones who strive to change the world are the ones who actually do. And they're basically selling being a rebel, being a misfit. And there's a connection between new project and what this campaign is selling to. And here's the new project line: by artists for artists. They're selling the passion. Sorry, passion of doing what you want, not what other people want for you. You're selling. You're like they're selling passion for you doing what you want to work with, the art that you want to do, your expression in the world. And that's a roundup for every single branding, like every single clothing brand. You're selling people's expression in the world. And if you represent their expression in the world, they'll keep buying from you. They'll buy on every drop that you launch because they feel attached to the brand. They feel identified in the brand. And here are some observations that I took while going through their website. Sorry. That first of all, it's not an expensive brand at all, and they're not luxurious at all. They're basically nonchalant. If I would give a description, they're basically nonchalant, and you can position your brand with lifestyle because it's not that expensive. It's not like a $5,000 piece of clothing, but it's not a $5 T-shirt, right? It's between that range, kind of between that range. But $70 is a good pricing. On, I don't think that you guys can see here, but on average, it's like $70 for a T-shirt, 70, 77, close. But basically, it's not expensive, and it's kind of nonchalant. And you can position your branding with lifestyle because what differentiates like a T-shirt like this that you can buy on, I don't know, Etsy or whatever other website of print on demand that you can buy it for $10 and a $70 T-shirt from new projects. Basically, the positioning that they sell and the lifestyle that they sell. Sorry. And a persona that I identify for them is basically 18 to 25-year-old young American or Barcelonian. I say Barcelonian because they're from the brand started in Spain, so Why not, right? Barcelona. It gets a new rich vibe, that new rich Porsche kind of guy, and the guy that uses those big trousers in a big tee, new project tee, basically, which are those guys that are like, fuck the 9 to 5 thing. I'll make my own business, bro. That kind of that kind of vibe, or that cool LA artist that they're like 100% nonchalant, laid back, like I'll do my thing, don't pressure me. I'm the artist here. That's the kind of vibe that I get when I see their pieces of clothing, when I see their website. But they might have other personas, right? And they have a and because Nude Project is a brand that sells for men and for women. I decided to not make a persona for females because I don't have that much like repertoire, if I would say, to talk about female fashion. I'm a marketer. I'm not a stylist. So basically, let's analyze some stuff from new projects. Basically, if you look at this T, you can basically see the persona that I described to you, or maybe a crypto kid. Maybe a crypto kid. They got a pump and dump, got like 4 million, and dude is 22, trade and doing trading on Solana, on the Solana chain or something like that. And as you can see here, they like they're basically selling the nonchalant rebel style, right? As you can see here, older, wiser, and hotter than ever. Not every brand would write something like this on a T-shirt and will sell it, basically. And here it is. This is a description for the image below. By artists for artists. In a second persona that I thought for a brand, everything that's written here, it's a brainstorm that I did. So capture it as an idea for your brand. So basically, here are artists for artists in a second persona for their brand. They're selling passion, doing your own thing, living your own life, and choosing your paths. If you're in, actually, that's half a sentence that I left it here. So basically, your brand can also sell passion, can also sell doing your own thing, and can also sell living your own life and choosing your paths. Basically, freedom. And here's an example, right? By artists for artists, new project. And as you can see here, and you will see below on the images below, they are 100% the archetype of the rebel, the misfits. So some inspirations if you want to get it for your brand of like a rebel, basically new project, right? We are analyzing them for a reason. The think different Apple campaign, think different Apple campaign. Oops, Apple campaign. And there are many others I don't recall right now because I'm recording this late at night, but whatever. And they're basically by selling the rebel, by selling the vibe of the rebel, they're basically saying that they're not made to fit the status quo. And if you look on their website, the rest of their pieces, because their t-shirts are the most normal thing, like the least different thing that they sell on their website, because the rest is like I can't even describe what they sell because I don't have enough fashion repertoire to talk about it. That's why I'm making an analysis of the t-shirts because everyone wears t-shirts, so it's easier to compare, right? But basically, they're not fitting the status quo, and you can see on on their t-shirts, basically on their pieces. This one I find it so funny because like who would even write something like this? Have I lost my virginity because I never lose? Who would make a t-shirt based on this thing, right? It's not everyone. You need to be a rebel to write something like this on a t-shirt. And when you write something on this on a t-shirt, or when you make pieces like that, you're basically you're basically saying you're making a statement. Every piece of your clothing should make a statement. Like this is what we think about. This is what we're selling, and they're selling something really different. They're like they're doing the I don't give a fuck kind of vibes basically. And actually, when I saw this T-shirt, it was something that I really thought about because it really this actually this one shows that the slogan by artists for artists wasn't something that they just did whatever, right? Because I don't know, I just looked at it, just read it, and I thought about it, right? Because if you have an idea and you put this on a tee, it's something that's in your subconscious, right? So it's not something for I can't even describe it at this point. I'm sorry, but basically, you guys got the point. And because we're marketers here, we're not fashion designs. Here's basically the strategy that the Nude project is doing right now. Their long form strategy. I'll comment on a short form strategy later. But basically, they have two branches. They have the podcast. Their podcast is it the New Project podcast that basically they make podcasts with people like with figures that represent what they're selling basically. So how can I say this? Basically, branding is all about associations. What you associate your brand, your product with the other thing. So once they are doing all the rebel kind of thing, they by making a podcast and putting making associations, by making episodes with people who are rebels, who are different, who are out of the status quo, out of the social norm. You make this kind of associations, right? So here's an example. By making the podcast, you bring guests that people recognize and identify with. It strengthens the associations between the guests, the message of the brands, and their products. That's exactly what I told before, that you need to make associations. And a good idea, and this is actually a really good business move because you bring people to your podcast, you talk about with them, you're basically having a conversation with them, and later because they're a fashion brand, you can ask like you can pitch them making a collab with you, and since they know you better, you, you it actually can become true at some point. And the other part of the long form strategy is the Bruno Casanova. Bruno Casanova is one of the founders of the company, and he's the creative director. And he started making uh building in public. It's basically building in public, right? But they're documenting the journey. That's a concept that Daniel Dalen created, like I don't know, a year before, a, a year ago, which is basically doing vlogs of you building your business, it's basically building public. There are some people who did that previously, um, but right now it's becoming such a big movement that it's a good thing to jump on. If you have a brand, if you have a business, it's a good idea to jump on this one. Even more if you want to make a personal branding. And I think that for brands like clothing brands, because we're talking about new projects here, since it's something really personal, the type of clothing that you wear, because it kind of represents your identity. If you have a greater connection with the founder or the person who's representing this brand, you won't switch brands very often. And you become one of the thousand loyal fans. And actually, I wrote this down because the thousand loyal fans theory is, I forgot who made this one, but basically it says that you can make any business if you have 1,000 truly loyal fans. Because every everything and anything that you sell, if you have 1,000 loyal fans, you can make at least startup money to start building the business or to grow the business. So actually, let's make some quick math here. A tea is $70. Let's consider that people only buy one tea, which usually it's not like that. If you are a loyal fan, you might be buying like half of the drop, like half of the pieces, right? So, but let's consider only a tea. Uh, is it showing? Actually, let me see if I can. Oh, it's showing. Okay. So basically, 70 times 1,000, 70,000. So if you're selling for $70 a piece, you have at least $70,000 or euros, whatever, of startup money because you have 1,000 loyal fans. And the thing is, people connect better with people than with brands. So if you have a face for your brand, it's easier for people to connect with you, and therefore them becoming one of the 1,000 loyal fans that you're looking for. And in some, let me see, how can I say this? And actually, by showing the founder's lifestyle on YouTube, they strengthen the community around the brand. That's what I was talking about. And when you make those kind of videos, it gives a sense that it's not only my brand you're buying from my brand, it's our brand because you're seeing the behind the scenes, you're seeing the sorry, the ideas that we're having, the brainstorming sessions that we're having and seeing, the as an example of the new project, the how we decide which pieces of clothing we will put on the next drop, on the next collection or not, right? Y- you create a sense that it's not our brand. No, actually, the other thing around. It creates a sense that it's not only my brand, that it's our brand, and you're part of the stripe. And some ideas that you can do for your brand. First things first, you need to know the vibe of your brand and what you want to sell. Is it like a classic thing, like three-piece suit type of thing? Is it a retro 90s thing? Is it luxurious? Is it streetwear? Whatever, adapt to your brand, right? Second thing is take notes on what people just like you aspire, watch, consume, etc. for marketing purposes. If you have if you have a clear of what your people are interested in what they buy, in even more on what they aspire to be and to feel, You can make your whole brand adapted to this persona, and you can sell straight to them, and they'll buy it because they feel extremely identified with their brand, with your brand, actually. And basically, make associations between your brand and your notes, what they aspire to be. Are they looking to be more free? Are they looking to be more confident? Because if you put on a suit, you feel more confident. You feel powerful. Shit, more powerful. Do they want to become well-known, status-driven? Luxurious clothing brands sell a lot based on this, on status. Do they want to look like rich and cool, rich and nonchalant? Kind of a new project, also. Do they want to feel like the rebel? It's it's I don't want to say that it's all about the feelings that your brand gives, the vibes that your brand gives, but a huge part of it definitely is. In some last thoughts, basically, every person wants to feel unique, sell the uniqueness they're looking for. And a sentence, right? The unique in you, basically. There are many types of tribes around society, right? There are the streetwear people, there are the skaters, there are the surfers, there are the business guys, there are the there are many type of people that dress in a way that represents themselves. If you can get a piece of this market and represent a piece of this market, you will definitely sell. It's just a matter of distribution, of people knowing you. And if you need more people to know you, know your brand, and even your personal brand, so you can get these people and put them into your funnel, your sales funnel. Book a call with me. I'll link the link below here, and I'll see you there. I can definitely help you. That's something that I say every video, but it's because I truly believe it that I can definitely help you. If we can't work together, at least I'll give you a brainstorming session that you never seen it before. So if if you are looking to increase your sales, if you're looking for someone to look at your marketing, at your branding, to look and manage your ads, because that's a really important part of the business also. Your content distribution, your sales funnels, anything and everything. Book a call with me. It's I'll leave it here in the description, and I hope to see you there. Goodbye.